Hi there, my name is Jessica. I'm going to be doing my middle math identity. I left off at late elementary to early middle school in my last video, and I mentioned that in fourth grade I remember really struggling with math, but I had a wonderful teacher who would stay with me before school and tutor me. And um, I think that my relationship with math never really continued to develop um, in a positive way. I think that I always really did struggle with math, and it is comforting to know that that muscle is always being worked, but that is something that I forget. And so it almost sometimes feels like I'm kind of left to my own devices in that. But um, I would say my first memory that has to do with my middle math identity would be Algebra 1 in freshman year. My middle school is such a blur, but freshman year I do remember Algebra 1, and I remember doing well at the beginning of each unit in the first lesson or the first concept we learned. And then once that unit progressed, I would fall back every single unit. And I always passed with a B. I never got a C. A B is what I typically passed with. Though then we hit geometry my sophomore year, and that geometry was hard for me. I struggled with geometry, and I remember struggling with geometry. My second memory that I want to talk about is actually a lesson where we used a protractor in geometry. And I just remember feeling so defeated in that class because I knew that math wasn't my best subject, but struggling, like, I just remember like that being so hard for me to grasp, like using the protractor, putting it on paper, understanding what I'm even doing and now I know that I'm measuring an angle or measuring a shape. Before, I could not wrap my head around that, and I didn't understand why I was doing it. And so that would be my second memory. But my third memory, I would have to say, would be, my statistics class that I took. It was a math class. Before I was majoring in elementary education, I think I was attending a different college, Cal State San Marcos, and it was my sophomore or freshman year of college, and it was statistics, and it was hard. Barely passed the class, but I remember having to do an assignment on an Excel sheet, and it was so hard for me. And but I do remember passing and feeling like it was a feeling relieved after that I passed. But, I think that if I had had a different attitude about math before, I would have done so much better. Like, knowing that math is something that you can pick up on, that you can develop, like that can be a muscle that is worked rather than something that you are not born with. That is so that changes everything for me because it means that I have a chance to actually understand math. And I think it's really helping taking this course because it's kind of breaking things down for me and getting me to understand the why of why I'm doing the things I'm doing in math. And that makes it easier to learn all around. But those were my middle memories and up to now. So now I'm in elementary education and in this class, and I'm loving it. Honestly, it's the best math class I've ever taken. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. But I'm continuing to strengthen my brain muscles. So thank you.